everyone, it's Lindey. Okay, so I have been debating on whether or not to do this video now or later, mainly because I've been hearing all of this talk about the United States Postal Service changing rates on us yet again. But I figured I would go ahead and do the video because it's one that you guys ask about a lot. I get lots of comments on it, I get lots of emails on it, and so I figured I would go ahead and do the video. And I mean, if prices change a little bit, then I guess the prices go up. But the gist of the information is still going to be the same and hopefully will still be useful to you guys. So I want to talk about shipping rates. I get a lot of questions about how to know what shipping type to use, how much it's going to cost, and so on and so forth. So that's what this video is going to be all about. Primarily, I wanted to talk about USPS First Class and Priority, mainly because those are the two services that I use the most. And I think overall, most resellers and eBay users use those two as well. So I'll touch a little bit on other postal carriers and things like media mail and parcel, but just a little touch because for eBay purposes, I really believe that First Class and Priority are the best ways to go by far. Okay, now, first things first. If you are not printing your shipping labels through eBay, you need to be. Like, seriously. If you are still packaging your items and taking them directly to the post office, stop. Don't do that. The reason why I say this is because if you print your shipping labels through eBay, you get a discount on not just First Class, but also Priority Mail as well. Yes, a discount. And those discounts add up. They really do. It's not hard to do it by yourself at home. You just need a shipping scale of some kind just so that you know how much your item weighs. You need to have your packaging materials and you need to have a printer. That's it. eBay will literally walk you through the steps. If you have a package that needs to be shipped out, eBay will tell you that you have items that need to be shipped out, and there will even be a clickable icon that says print shipping label. All you have to do is click print shipping label. It'll take you to the shipping page. You can select your shipping service, enter in your weight, click purchase postage. The money comes straight out of your PayPal account and you print the label, you slap it on, and you don't even have to take it to the post office. You can schedule your post worker to come pick it up from your house. It's easy, super easy. And it saves you money. So, saves time, saves money. Print your shipping labels at home. Okay, so now that I got all that out of the way, let's start off by talking about First Class. Okay, so there is a lot of confusion about shipping First Class. The confusion is First Class considered 13 ounces and under or 16 ounces and under? Here's the deal with that. If you are printing your shipping labels at home through eBay, anything that is 15.9 ounces and under is considered First Class. So if you have something that is 15 ounces and you take it into the post office, they will not consider that First Class, because First Class at the post office is 13 ounces and under. So again, by printing your shipping labels through eBay, you also have a little bit more wiggle room with First Class when it comes to weight. If you were to take your item into the post office, 13 ounces and below is First Class, but if you have something that's 14 or 15 ounces, they're going to charge you more for it. But if you print your shipping label through eBay, it's still First Class and it's still 5 to 10 cents more than the other 13 ounces and below. So you're still saving a significant amount of money. So anything 15.9 ounces and below is First class, okay? First class currently ranges between $2.60 all the way up to $3.65. Okay, so if you're sending something first class, the most that you're going to pay is $3.65. So if you weigh something and it weighs 15.9 ounces or under, clearly shipping first class is going to be the way to go, because you know you're not going to be spending more than $3.65 on it, right? Right. Okay, so what do you do if you have an item that is 16 ounces or higher? Chances are the best option for you is going to be priority mail, not parcel. Do you know why? Because eBay gives you a discount for priority shipping. Yes, they do. So, where in your head you might be thinking that parcel is the way to go because it is cheaper, that's not always the case. Depending on the weight of the item, when you go to ship it, if you select priority mail, more often than not, for myself anyway, priority mail ends up being cheaper and your buyer gets the item faster. So always check priority mail before parcel. Like always, 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 always. Now, there's two different ways of doing priority. You can do priority by weight, or you could do priority in a flat rate. This is the one that I have closest, so we're going to use this. I would rather use a padded flat rate, but of course that's out of reach. I can't reach it. Okay, so these I use for jeans and other random things, right? So if anything, a box, an envelope, anything has this flat rate envelope. One rate, any weight, right? Okay, so what that means is that it doesn't weigh, it doesn't matter if something weighs 1 pound or 20 pounds. If it fits in this envelope, it will ship for a flat fee. Now, my fee for these envelopes is $5.60. However, I am a top-rated plus seller, so I believe that the rate, as long as you print your labels through eBay, I believe that the rate on these envelopes is $5.75. I'm pretty sure. And then the padded flat rates are $5.90 for me, and then I believe they're $6.10 if you print through eBay. So what that means is before you ship anything, you want to double check the weight, and you want to see if it's going to be cheaper to ship flat rate or ship by weight. Now, if you have something that's not going to fit in these flat rate envelopes, clearly you are going to have to ship by weight, because if you can't fit it, you can't ship it, right? So if you have something that could fit in a flat rate, check and see which is cheaper, by weight or the flat rate price. Now, there's not just flat rate envelopes. There is flat rate regular envelopes and padded envelopes, but there's also flat rate boxes. Now, boxes can get a little bit tricky. The medium flat rate boxes are around $12 to ship, and the large flat rate boxes are around $18 or $19 to ship. So more often than not, if it fits in the flat rate boxes, you definitely want to double check the weight price on those, because there is a chance that shipping them in a box by weight might be cheaper. So it's just going to depend on how heavy your item is. Okay, so next, I also get a lot of questions asking about if you have to use priority mail indicated shipping supplies when you ship priority mail. You do not. You can use a regular box, you can use a regular poly mailer, you can use a regular padded envelope. It does not have to say priority on the packaging itself. As long as the label indicates that it's priority mail, it does not have to go in a special box. It does not have to have any special labels or special tape. Priority mail labels can go on any kind of package that you want, except for packages of other carriers. You cannot use a FedEx box to ship USPS priority. They're not going to allow it. That's one of the perks of getting shipping supplies for free from a carrier, is that you have obligated yourself to use that carrier. So if you have a free FedEx box, you're going to have to ship that item via FedEx and not USPS. Same thing with USPS priority. You cannot use a priority labeled item to ship first class or parcel or media mail or any other shipping service. You can't use this for FedEx. You can't use it for UPS. If it says priority mail on it, it's got to be priority mail. Same thing with the Priority Express. You cannot use Priority Express labels to send regular priority. If it says Priority Express on it, you're going to have to pay for the overnight fees. And overnight fees get super expensive. We're talking like $20 plus just for a little like 1 ounce, or not 1 ounce, but 1 pound package. So don't ever use Priority Express merchandise if you don't intend to pay the astronomical fees to send it overnight. Right? Right. Okay. So, is that everything? That surely can't be everything. Okay, well, at least I'm pretty sure that that's it for first class and priority. I'm going to jump over to my screen here in a minute because I wanted to show you guys how to double check prices through eBay. So right now I'm just kind of babbling on about some things. But I had mentioned before that parcel was not always cheaper than priority, which is true. But that is, of course, if you plan to print your shipping labels through eBay. If you were to go to the post office and hand them a package and say, here, mail this for me, parcel will be cheaper than priority. It will be, but it's also going to take longer. So when I say it's cheaper to ship priority, I mean it's cheaper if you print your shipping labels through eBay, not if you go into the post office. So if you intend to go into the post office, then you should probably consider parcel being the cheaper option. But if you're printing your labels through home, priority is almost always cheaper. Sometimes it's not significantly cheaper, but it's cheaper enough, and your customer will get the package much, much faster shipping priority. So always good to stick with priority. Also, if you are not sure what shipping method you are going to be using, if you know that your package is going to be over a pound and you don't know if you're going to be using parcel or priority, I highly recommend that when you create your listing, you select the parcel option. Here is why. Okay, so if you don't know if it's going to be priority or parcel and you say priority, and you end up finding out that for some reason parcel is cheaper, then you are downgrading your customer. And that's going to piss some people off. If somebody's expecting that they're going to get a package in 2 to 3 days and it takes 2 to 9 days to get it, you're not going to have a very happy customer on your hands. However, if you select parcel and then find out that priority mail is cheaper, then you're upgrading them to priority shipping. And so when they were expecting to get their package within 2 to 9 business days, now they're getting it in 2 to 3 business days. So that makes for a happy customer. You'd rather have them happy than sad, right? Right. Okay, so we are going to switch over to my screen now so I can show you how to check out these prices when you go to do your shipping. Okay. All right, you guys. Okay, so This is our first time playing with this, so let's play. Okay, so right now I am in the screen of a buyer that I still need to print their shipping label for, but I'm going to print it later. I just kept it now to show you guys. So this is the screen that you get brought to once you click the little print shipping label link that you can get in your sold area in eBay. So what happens is, and I have this cropped out obviously so you can't see the seller's address and information, but when you have your screen here, and this right here, for some reason it thinks that it's an APO or a PO box. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you all of the options. I don't know why it's doing that, because it's just a regular street address. Apparently eBay wants to give me problems today. But what you are going to do is here you have, it is automatically going to default to whatever you select when you create the listing. More often than not, it's going to always default to United States Postal Service. And so that will automatically be there. Anything that you have already selected when you created your listing is going to be right in this area here. It's going to default. If you just selected something at random like parcel and you want to see if priority mail is going to be cheaper, this is how you would go about doing that. What you would do is you'd come down here to service and you're going to have a big old long list here. It's going to start at priority mail, and these up here are by weight. And then below these two, you're going to go to flat rate box, medium box, large box, padded flat rate, and then your regional boxes A and B. Got to be honest and say, I've never used those. I know that it can be a cheaper option, but I've never had the need to use those. And my post office doesn't even carry those boxes in shop. So I would have to order the boxes online in order to use them. Maybe I will one day. I haven't had a need to thus far, so I haven't really messed with those at all. And then below that would be first class, and then parcel, and then media mail, which is for your things like books and music, that kind of thing. And then below that is your priority mail express, which you are not going to select those unless you need to send things overnight, which is really expensive. So steer clear of those unless you actually need overnight. So what we're going to do is right now, let's just say you have a package that is, let's say 1.5 pounds, and you want to know which is going to be cheaper, parcel or priority. So let's go here and we're going to select priority mail. And so we selected priority mail. Now we're going to come down here and we're going to click change weight and dimensions. So you are going to have your dimensions in here. We're just gonna pick something. Okay, so we're gonna say it's 1 pound 8 ounces, so that's 1.5 pounds. And then you hit calculate, and it's going to show you here that your priority mail fee for 1.5 pounds is $9.41. Then if you come down here, it's going to show you all of your options. Look at here. Parcel, which is 2 to 9 days, is $10.28. So priority mail is beaten by almost $1. So it's going to be almost $1 cheaper to upgrade your buyer to priority shipping. But I also want to point this out. Look at this discount, okay? So if you were to go to the post office, this right here would be the fee that you would pay. This is how much priority mail would cost if you were to go into the post office. But because we're printing the shipping label through eBay, we get a 17% discount, which means it's only $9.41. So if we were going to the post office rather than printing our shipping labels through eBay, parcel would have been the cheaper option. So you can already see here why printing your shipping label on eBay is financially beneficial to the situation, because the buyer is going to get their item faster and it's cheaper. Okay, so now let's look at this other option. So let's say that your item weighs 1.5 pounds. Let's call it a pair of jeans. And let's say your jeans weigh 1.5 pounds. Okay, so can your jeans fit in a flat rate, right? Flat rate envelope. So we know that if we were shipping those jeans by weight, it would cost $9.41. But if we come back here, and let's say we're going to stick it in a padded flat rate, looky there, our price drops to $5.90. So that's saving like what, $3.50? Almost $4 just by shipping it in a flat rate as opposed to shipping by weight. So if you can ship things in a flat rate, clearly here, flat rate is the cheaper option, right? Right. So now one more thing I wanted to bring up. Let's find it here. All right, so now let's look at the difference between shipping something that's under a pound first class versus shipping something under a pound priority. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to change the weight again. We're going to say that this item is 14 ounces. Okay, so this item is 14 ounces. So priority mail for a 14-ounce item would be $6.42. First class, on the other hand, is going to be $3.55. So by shipping first class over priority, clearly first class is the cheaper option by almost $3. Okay, and pay attention to this part too. Priority mail is 1 to 3 days, right? First class is 2 to 3 days here. Now, this can vary by location of the buyer. So sometimes first class is 3 to 5 days, but for this particular buyer, it's 2 to 3 days. So you are saving almost $3 in shipping, and the package is going to get there in the same amount of time. So clearly first class is the best bet here. Same thing if you wanted to go priority. If you have that 14-ounce item, or not priority, but flat rate. If you have that 14-ounce item, the flat rate is still going to be, it's already up here, $5.90 and $5.60. So if you did need to send something priority, you could see here, if you can fit it in a flat rate, it's this price, $5.60 or $5.90, as opposed to $6.42 if you ship it by weight. So if you are a little unclear as to how to go about shipping your item or what method you should use, you can use this screen in order to find that out. Now, the downside to this is that you cannot get to this screen until after the item has sold. That is the only downside. When you are creating your listing and selecting your shipping service, you do not get to see this discounted portion. If you were to create your listing from scratch and enter in your shipping option, the only price you will see is the regular price. You will see that $11.35. You won't know what your discount is going to be until you get to this screen. So just know that you do get a discount for priority and first class. You won't know exactly what that discount is until you get to this screen, but the more you do it, the more that you'll know what to expect your discount to be. Like, I ship first class and flat rates so often, I already know off the top of my head how much shipping is going to be before I even list the item. It's only the items that are over a pound that cannot fit in a flat rate that I have to kind of guess on shipping a little bit. But you can kind of get around that by having buyer paid calculated shipping based on location. Because right now, the person that I have up on this screen right now, this person is in Washington. So if I was shipping to somebody 1 or 2 states away, this $9.41 might be cheaper. So it's going to depend on where the buyer lives. However, if you're shipping first class or flat rate envelope, the price is always the same. So it's only with the parcel and the priority mail by weight that it depends on the buyer's location. Now, another option that you have is if you don't want to look at United States Postal Service, let's say you want to look at FedEx or you want to look at UPS. Of course, I can't bring the drop down now because my computer decided not to let me, but you can also play around with those as well, because if you have a really large, heavy box, then chances are that UPS Ground or FedEx might be cheaper. So this doesn't just work for United States Postal Service. You can also use this drop down to check out FedEx and UPS as well. So I think that's it for that. Okay. All right, you guys. So that's the gist of it. Those are all the basics of first class and priority mail. So I mean, bottom line is, if you're not printing your shipping labels at home, you definitely should be. You don't need special labels. You could just print them on regular paper and just tape them on. You don't need to download any formats to your computer. eBay will just bring it up to the print preview exactly how the page needs to be, and you could just print it. I mean, it's really easy. The money saved is totally worth it. The time saved not having to wait in line at the post office is double worth it. You know, so it's really not difficult to price your items when you get a really good idea of the way shipping is. If you're not really sure how much shipping is going to be, you know, just make sure to select buyer paid shipping calculated by their location. That way, if you do a flat fee, if they live out in California or something, you're not eating shipping costs. So I really hope that this helped you. I am so certain that there are things about priority mail and first class that I am forgetting to mention. And if I am, I'm so sorry. Just go ahead and leave me a question in the comments, or you can email me about it. My email is in the video description. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them and I will answer them as quickly as I can. The holidays are here. It's really crazy around the house. Hopefully things get back to normal soon. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video and found it helpful, please give me a thumbs up and let me know. If you haven't subscribed to me yet, I hope that you will. And thank you again so much for watching. I will see you with my next video. Bye.